I believe in the off season, the old guys back in the '90s, they got as big as we did. They had the extended guts. They had all that. He got huge in his off season. He had a huge gut, but no one really cared.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're now less than 7 weeks away from the Mr. Olympia 2025, and this year the competition is going to be tougher than ever. Why? Because we'll see some of the best bodybuilders in the world, including 5 Mr. Olympia champions, battling it out along with other top bodybuilders. Even though these bodybuilders are big, strong, and well-built, no physique is perfect. Every competitor has strengths and weaknesses. In this video, we'll talk about what each top bodybuilder needs to improve, which body parts could make or break their placing, and how some weaknesses have cost competitors titles in the past. So, if you're ready for a full analysis of the top contenders and what they need to bring to dominate the Olympia stage, let's get started. First, we talk about Derek Lunsford. He is no doubt one of the most dangerous competitors right now, but still there are some areas that need improvement. In the front double biceps, Derek looks good overall, but his biceps don't have the same sharp peak like Nick Walker, Samson Dauda or Hadi Choopan. They look a bit flat compared to others. His front lat spread also isn't as wide or perfect as Andrew Jack or Hadi, which makes him lose some impact from the front. On the back poses, Derek is very strong, but his hamstrings are not as detailed as Samson or Nick's in D2A, which creates a slight weakness in his lower body. Talking about abs and thigh, Derek's abs don't show deep visible cuts. His midsection doesn't look as detailed and sharp as Nick, Hadi, Samson or Andrew. Yes, it's improved compared to his older packages, but still not at the level of perfection. His most muscular is also not his strongest pose because of his midsection and chest not popping as much compared to Nick, Hadi or Samson. If Derek can improve his midsection detail, bring more pop in his chest, and add hamstring detail, then he can 100% bring his best ever physique on stage. Right now his main weaknesses are midsection, chest fullness, biceps peak, and hamstrings. Nick Walker is one of the most hyped athletes going into this Olympia, and for good reason. His size and conditioning are next level. But if we talk about weaknesses, the biggest criticism on Nick is his bubble gut or bloated waist. When he controls his midsection, the physique looks much sharper and more balanced, but if he loses control, the bloated waist becomes very visible. In the front lat spread, this midsection issue is more noticeable, and that's why this pose doesn't look as clean or perfect as athletes like Andrew Jack, Samson Dauda, or Hadi Choopan. On the flip side, Nick's back poses are his strongest weapons, even strong enough to beat Derek in some angles. But still, one missing factor is his glutes. Derek has the glutes but weaker hamstrings, while Nick has powerful hamstrings but underdeveloped glutes. In the abs and thigh, Nick manages to hide the bubble gut well and shows crisp, deep abs, which makes the pose strong again. Overall, Nick's main issue is still the midsection control and glute development. Otherwise, his physique is one of the most complete and dangerous packages on the Olympia stage. Hadi Choopan is known for his incredible conditioning and grainy look on stage, something that no other bodybuilder can match at that level. His front poses are absolutely world-class, with sharp details and dense muscle maturity that immediately stand out. However, if we talk about areas that need improvement, Hadi's back poses are where he falls behind compared to Derek Lunsford, Samson Dauda, and Nick Walker. While his back looks good alone, in direct comparison it lacks the same width, depth, and flow that his rivals bring. His hamstrings are also not as detailed or conditioned, and his glutes don't show the same level of separation. Overall, Hadi is still one of the most dangerous competitors because of his conditioning and front poses, but to bring a truly unbeatable package, he needs to improve his back poses, especially in terms of width, depth, and symmetry. When it comes to Samson Dauda, it's honestly hard to point out any major weakness in his physique. His overall structure is one of the best in the lineup. Front poses, side poses, and even back shots all look complete and balanced. The only concern for Samson has always been his conditioning. If he nails his conditioning like he did at the 2024 Mr. Olympia, it will be very difficult for anyone to stop him from winning a second title. However, if he comes in like the Arnold Classic where he missed his peak and lacked that crisp detail, then it could be a challenge for him to defend the crown. Samson's physique is already complete. The key for him is to bring razor-sharp conditioning, more detail, and that dry, grainy look. If he manages that, he's once again the man to beat. As a two-time Mr. Olympia champion, Big Ramy can't be ignored, and his return this year is going to be very interesting. Looking back at his 2022 Olympia performance, the main reason he missed out on his third title was a lack of sharpness and conditioning. His size is still monstrous, huge legs, thick upper body, and a lot of muscle mass, but the detail and separation that made him unbeatable before were missing. His midsection looked wider than usual, and his abs weren't clearly defined, which took away from his overall stage presence. For Ramy to challenge the top guys again, tightening and controlling his waist and bringing a sharper, more refined midsection will be key. His quads are still massive, but like Andrew Jacked and Rubiel Mosquera, they lack the deep cuts and separation they used to have at his peak. When Ramy was at his best, his legs were his strongest weapon. Now he needs to bring back that crisp detail. His back remains solid and impressive, but more refinement could make it stand out even more. Hamstrings are another area that need attention. They aren't as developed compared to other athletes, though his glutes are strong. Given his age and wear and tear, it might be a challenge to bring back that 100% version of himself. But if Ramy can tighten his midsection, improve leg detail, and sharpen his overall conditioning, he could still earn a very strong placing and possibly contend for the title again. Next, we have Andrew Jacked, a bodybuilder with a monster physique, towering height, and an overall aesthetic structure that makes him stand out instantly. He carries a lot of size and looks huge, but his main weakness lies in conditioning and muscle detail. On stage, his physique often lacks the sharpness and deep separation seen in other top competitors. His quads are massive, but they don't show enough cuts or separation compared to guys like Nick Walker, Derek Lunsford, or Samson Dauda. His back is wide and impressive, but again, the missing detail, depth, and grainy lines keep it from being world-class. The biggest weakness in Andrew's physique has always been his hamstrings and glutes. They simply don't show the conditioning needed at the Olympia level. That being said, Andrew has all the tools to be Mr. Olympia one day. If he can dial in his conditioning, bring shredded detail, and show a peaked, dry look on stage, his size and structure alone could make him nearly unbeatable. Next, we have Martin Fitzwater, a very promising competitor with a well-balanced and conditioned physique. Martin is known for bringing great conditioning to the stage, but when compared to the top Olympia contenders, his size is slightly behind. His biceps, while good, don't have the same peak or fullness as athletes like Nick Walker, Andrew Jacked, Samson Dauda, or Hadi Choopan. His back is detailed and shows strong conditioning, but adding more width and overall size would help him stand out more. The hamstrings are decent but could still use more density and separation, and glutes need to be sharper and more visible to compete with the best. Overall, Martin has the structure and potential. If he continues to improve his size, fullness, and back width while maintaining his conditioning, he can definitely move up and secure a strong placing in future Olympias. Vitali is an exciting athlete to talk about because he brings a very powerful and eye-catching physique. One of his biggest strengths is his legs. His quads are arguably the best in the Olympia lineup, with deep cuts and excellent separation. That said, there are some areas that need attention. His biceps, while having good peak, are on the smaller side compared to other top guys, which can make his arms look less dominant. His midsection isn't very sharp either. The abs lack deep detail and look a bit rough, so tightening this area would improve his overall look. His frame is big, but his lats are slightly undersized, which affects his balance and width. Another noticeable issue is his shoulders. His right shoulder seems smaller than the left, and overall his delts could be more pronounced. This imbalance is visible especially in side poses and can affect his symmetry. When it comes to back poses, Vitali has a very detailed and shredded back, but again, more width would make it stronger. His lower back needs more thickness, and his glutes are a weak area. They lack the detail and conditioning required at the Olympia level. If Vitali can bring more size to his arms and shoulders, improve his midsection, balance out his frame, he has the tools to be a serious contender. Rubiel Mosquera has truly shocked everyone this year with his massive size and stage presence, winning 2 pro shows and securing his Olympia qualification. His physique is huge and powerful, and he has a lot of potential to shake up the top lineups. However, there are areas that need improvement if he wants to compete for the highest spots. The biggest issue is his midsection. Similar to Nick Walker, he tends to have a bloated waist or bubble gut. When he controls it, his physique looks much better, like it did during his pro show wins, but it's something he needs to stay on top of. His biceps are very impressive with great peak, but his quads, while large, lack deep separation and detail. They look big but not sharp. His back has good width and thickness, but again, more detail and conditioning, especially in the lower back, hamstrings, and glutes, will make a big difference. If Rubiel can refine his conditioning, bring tighter detail, and keep his waist under control, his combination of size and shape can make him a very dangerous contender on the Olympia stage. And that's it for today's breakdown of the top contenders for Mr. Olympia 2025. As you can see, every athlete, no matter how great, has areas they can improve to take their physique to the next level. With less than 7 weeks left, it's going to come down to who can tighten up their weak points and show up at 100%. Who do you think is going to bring the best package this year? Will one of the 5 champions take the title again, or will we see a new face rise to the top? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this interesting video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more bodybuilding analysis and updates. Please support us as much as you can so we can bring even deeper updates and more interesting videos for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.